Where were the parents? Where were these parents? I don't understand that somebody so young doesn't have somebody on their side around them.
And our attitude towards life, and sometimes when life throws you things that you can't control, naturally your attitude is to be upset or to be disappointed or discouraged.
Hailey Bieber just dropped some shocking revelations. And if you thought you knew everything about Justin Bieber's past, think again. Having stood by Justin's side for over a decade, through highs, lows, and some of his darkest moments, Hailey has witnessed it all. But now she's speaking out about some startling truths, particularly regarding Justin's connection to Diddy, and it's far from pretty. What makes this even more intense is that these are things Justin has likely kept, buried out of shame, secrets he never wanted the world to uncover. From the pressures of his early career to questionable relationships and behind-the-scenes moments we never saw, Hailey's revelations paint a far more complicated and disturbing picture than anyone imagined. Justin and Diddy's past may change. The way you see everything and the details are even wilder than expected. So get ready, because we're about to uncover some deep, messy secrets. But before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you never miss an update. It's free and helps us out. We're bringing you brand new content, and this time, the tangled history between Justin Bieber, Diddy, and Usher is back in the spotlight. Only now, things are getting even messier. A former Playboy model has stepped forward, doubling down, on claims that Diddy and those around him can't be trusted. And honestly, with everything unfolding, it's hard to ignore how these past connections may have impacted a young Justin Bieber. Let's take a step back. Years ago, Diddy had immense influence over rising stars in the industry. Usher himself has spoken about being sent to Diddy's so-called flavor camp as a teenager, and if his words are anything to go by, what he witnessed there was, to put it mildly, unsettling. Now, with Diddy facing serious allegations, including sex trafficking, racketeering, and other disturbing charges, questions about his past relationships with young artists, including Justin, are resurfacing. Speculation about Justin and Diddy isn't new, but the conversation feels heavier now. For years, Diddy positioned himself as the industry's self-proclaimed gatekeeper, giving him unprecedented access, an access that's now raising even more concerns. Diddy's access to young talent was undeniable, and while Justin Bieber has never directly accused him of misconduct, whispers about how their relationship may have affected Justin's well-being are growing louder. It's important to remember that Justin entered the industry as a child star, young, impressionable, and vulnerable to the pressures of fame. His connection to Diddy during those formative years has long been a topic of curiosity, but now, as Diddy faces serious allegations, the focus is shifting. People are beginning to ask tough questions about what really went on behind the scenes, and whether Diddy's influence had a far darker impact than anyone realized. With Usher's past stories resurfacing and insiders continuing to speak out, it feels like we're only scratching the surface. At just 15 years old, Justin Bieber, the young superstar behind Never Say Never, was introduced to Sean Diddy, combs through his mentor, Usher. It's well known that Usher, who played a pivotal role in Bieber's early career, was himself taken under Diddy's wing as a teenager. That connection set the stage for Bieber's own relationship with Diddy, a friendship that is now being re-examined under a microscope. Videos and photos of a teenage Bieber with Diddy are resurfacing, sparking even more speculation about what really happened behind closed doors. Images and videos of a teenage Justin Bieber hanging out with much older crowds, particularly at Diddy's lavish white parties, have resurfaced, fueling fresh scrutiny. Many are now questioning why a child star like Justin was so closely tied to an adult mogul, especially within a culture that, in hindsight, raises serious red flags. This renewed media attention has also put Justin's parents under fire, with critics arguing that they neglected his well-being during one of the most vulnerable phases of his life. While Bieber's connection to Diddy has long been a subject of intrigue, the conversation feels far more urgent now. With Diddy facing serious allegations, including sex trafficking and racketeering, the focus has shifted to his history of close relationships with young stars like Bieber and Usher. Neither Bieber nor Usher has been implicated in any wrongdoing, but their names continue to surface whenever Diddy's past is discussed. Adding even more fuel to the controversy, former Playboy model Precious Muri, who attended one of Diddy's infamous parties, has recently spoken out. In an interview with the Mirror US, Muir reflected on what she witnessed and made it clear that Justin, who was just a teenager at the time, should have been protected. Her comments hit hard, especially considering the chaotic environment Justin was thrust into at such a young age. His meteoric rise to fame was unprecedented, but it's becoming increasingly clear that there weren't enough safeguards in place to protect him behind the scenes. Muir expressed a deep sense of regret, further amplifying concerns about the industry's treatment of young talent. Precious Muir didn't hold back when discussing her concerns about Justin Bieber's past connection to Diddy. In her conversation with the Mirror US, she expressed deep regret, wishing she could turn back time to change what happened, or even intervene at those now infamous gatherings that have taken on a far darker reputation. One of the most unsettling implications she raised was the idea of a young child sleeping over at a grown man's house, an issue that highlights the disturbing power dynamics within the music industry. When someone as influential and commanding as Diddy is involved, the lines of control and manipulation become even more concerning. Muir emphasized that the ultimate say in a young star's life should always lie with their parents or guardians. That should be the holy grail. No external force, no matter how powerful, persuasive, or influential, should dictate where these young artists go or who they spend their time with. It's a point that hits especially hard when reflecting on Bieber's meteoric rise to fame as a teenager and the environments he was exposed to under the industry's watchful, yet often exploitative, eye. What's particularly chilling is Muir's insight into Diddy's ability to manipulate those around him. She described him as someone who was very good at convincing people to do things they probably didn't want to do. That statement adds a heavy layer to the growing scrutiny surrounding Diddy's past relationships with young talent, raising the haunting question: how many decisions were made under his influence that left these young stars vulnerable? And Muir isn't the only one speaking out. In a recent YouTube interview with former mobster Michael Franzese, Suge Knight dropped some seriously troubling claims about Diddy's early interactions with Justin Bieber, claims that only add more weight to the intensifying conversation. Suge Knight didn't hold back, implying that Bad Boy Records mogul Diddy may have taken an unhealthy interest in Justin Bieber during the early years of his career, back when Justin was still a young, impressionable pop star on the rise. It's the kind of statement that raises eyebrows and even more questions. Diddy's influence in the music industry at the time was undeniable, and his close relationships with young talent like Bieber have long been a subject of debate. But Knight's comments add a much darker edge to the conversation, suggesting that Diddy's interest in the teenage superstar may not have been as innocent as it once seemed. For fans who have followed Justin's journey from the beginning, this revelation hits differently. The idea that someone as powerful as Diddy could have exerted this kind of influence over Justin during such a vulnerable period in his life is deeply unsettling. And with Diddy now facing serious allegations across the board, it's no surprise that people are revisiting his past and questioning everything. It was the saddest thing in the world, what they did to Justin Bieber, Knight said. I hate to say that because I really like Justin Bieber. I feel bad for Justin Bieber. Knight went even further, alleging that Diddy's associates arranged vacations for Justin with older men during his teenage years. The implications of such claims are disturbing, adding yet another layer of concern to the growing scrutiny surrounding Diddy's past relationships with young artists. Suge Knight went even further, claiming that Justin Bieber was sent on romantic vacations with older, successful men, sharing photos on Instagram where there were no women, just grown men and a young Justin. Not only is it a bad look, it's sad, Knight remarked. Earlier this year, an old video resurfaced showing Diddy and rapper The Game giving Justin Bieber drinks at a party, and it quickly went viral. The footage sparked outrage online, with many speculating that Justin, who was still a teenager at the time, may have been drugged or taken advantage of during the event. Since these troubling revelations have come to light, Justin Bieber has noticeably pulled back from the public eye. Those close to him say the resurfacing of these incidents has taken a heavy emotional toll. Fans have pointed out how quiet and distant he has been in recent months, and according to Hailey Bieber, it's not a coincidence. It's directly tied to his past with Diddy, or Puffy, as he is often called. Hailey has reportedly shared that Justin has been under extreme stress, much of it stemming from the painful memories that have resurfaced. Revisiting this part of his life, when he was thrown into situations no teenager should have to navigate, has been incredibly difficult. The weight of these past experiences, combined with renewed media scrutiny, has left Justin feeling distressed and overwhelmed. It's heartbreaking to consider how young he was when he first entered the industry and found himself surrounded by powerful figures. While the world saw him as a rising superstar behind the scenes, he was just a kid trying to figure out life. Now, as more revelations about Diddy emerge, it seems to have reopened wounds that Justin has spent years trying to heal from. What do you think? Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay updated. I post weekly deep dives into the hidden secrets of your favorite celebrities.